Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org. This is PBS Reno Arts. I'm Dave Santina from the studios of PBS Reno in Reno, Nevada. And after months of trying, I finally have been able to secure Emily Skyle-Golden here in studio to talk about all the many things involved around the Cordillera International Film Festival. Hello.
Hello.
I'm so glad you could make it.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Nobody knows what you've gone through to make it here today. There's a flat tire involved.
There's all sorts of things.
Noisy cars, lots of other things. But yeah, this has been coming for a long time. I've been wanting to have you in because, for one thing, Cordillera is really cool, and we know that. Oh, in case you didn't know, it's been named one of the top 25 coolest film festivals in the world 2 years in a row.
Yes,
right?
by Movie Maker magazine. That's not like my mom holding up a sign. Like it's legit.
It's legit. So I mean, how do you not love that? It's so exciting, and it is a really cool film festival. But it's not just Cordillera is not just the film festival, which is roughly every September every year, right?
Every September, yes.
But it's a year-round. You have year-round events and year-round activities, and I think that's partly why I wanted to have you come in, was just to make people aware of how much is going on. Specifically, this podcast drops on Monday, the 7th of April, and very soon you've got a big event coming up that's about the future of filmmaking.
Yeah, so on April 19th, we're having our Future Filmmakers Foundation Film Challenge Day.
Thank you for saying it so I didn't have to.
Yeah, try doing that as a hashtag until I get enter 3 times. But for the foundation, it's really exciting. We bring in 10 professional filmmaker teams. We have award-winning filmmakers. We also have local filmmakers that are also equally amazing. And they mentor. So the kids get to write and star in their own films. So it's really magical because, when you're growing up, if you're not athletic, or if you're not the kid that wants to be the theater kid on screen, there's not a lot of places to have gifts, right? There's not a lot of opportunities. And on a film set, what is so magical is every kid has a gift on a set, whether it's someone obsessed with YouTube makeup tutorials that wants to do makeup, the kid that just likes to build with his dad in the garage that can come and build the set, the writer that would prefer never to talk to a human but is really gifted at writing. And they can all come together in this yes and environment, if you will, where they're accepting and collaborating. We sponsor 100 plus kids at each one of our Film Day challenges. They get assigned to one of the mentor professional teams, and they get to write and star and create and tell their own stories, and then get this amazing red carpet event where they get to see themselves on the big screen. And it's just a really magical, one of my favorite things we do each year.
That's really fun. So they spend a day making a film, and then they do the red carpet. How much after that?
Usually the Wednesday after. So it's always on a Saturday. We usually pick a holiday weekend, which a lot of people think is strange. We did it on Mother's Day for so long. But now that we're partnered with the Cannes Film Festival, it's right during the festival, so we can't. So we pick a holiday because that's usually when parents would love a day to not have kids home. So it's kind of a gift to the parents as well because they're family coming, So this is Easter weekend that we're doing it this year on a Saturday.
Okay.
And then the premiere is the Wednesday after.
Really cool. So how does a kid get to be one of those involved? How do they sign up?
So they go to our website, which is futurefilmakersfoundation.org, also super short and easy to type in. And there is a form that they can fill out that just gives us their age, their background, what things they're interested in doing on the set. That's the same site and same form that a professional can fill out if they're interested in becoming one of the mentor filmmakers for it. And
yeah, I was just going to ask about that too.
Yeah, so you go to the same place and you just let us know, do you want to be a future filmmaker participant or do you want to be one of the mentors? So we have makeup artists that sign up, costume designers that sign up, and it just works itself out. And then we usually let them know about 7 days out if they've been selected, but we try to select as many as possible.
That sounds like so much fun. And so parents, really, that's the place to sign them up, is at the website. That's the only place, right?
It is the only place.
Okay.
They've got to fill out the form and go through the official stages
Gotcha.
to make sure we can
Gotcha.
get them correct in the count.
Yeah, and they're sponsored by the Future Filmmakers Foundation, right? And,
Yes.
And tell me about that.
So the Future Filmmakers Foundation has a really specific mission, and that's to embrace youth and give them the opportunity to use their voice. And so whether that voice is painting the set or creating the story or filming the story or performing in it, we just want to give them a voice. And most of the communities that we work with are facing art cutbacks in schools. We work with a lot of reservations that don't have a lot of access to the materials. And for me, it's very personal because I was raised in a small community in 3 hours inland from Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, wow.
So if no one ever came to me and said, "Hey, you can do this. We're giving you the access, and anyone can do this if they just want to do it." That this is a field and a world of entertainment where artists are very embracing, and a lot of other art communities or like dance, it's such a competitive world. In film, you need 30, 40, 50 people around you to accomplish anything. So you're like, yes, you can. You want to, here, try a paintbrush. What do we do?
Right.
And so it's this really wonderful opportunity. And so for me, when I started the foundation 25 years ago in Chicago, I just wanted a place for kids to have a voice and tell their stories. And it's just grown substantially since then. And this is the 10th year we're celebrating in Reno, Nevada.
That's exciting. How do you start a foundation?
So for me, I was at Second City doing comedy, but I also was I had a platform on television at the time as well, and I started noticing that kids loved improv and kids loved performing, but man, they would stay in school and get good attendance and grades if it meant they got to make a movie. And so my initial thing was just bringing art and that voice. What I found was that film was the best way to convince them, because in Chicago, they were not allowed to take part in the program if they had not attended school that day.
Okay. And
they also had to maintain a C or above, a passing average. And quite frankly, that it was not a C and above average in the school systems that we were working within in those communities wasn't a common thing. So we set that standard, and it eventually I was like, I can't write the checks for this forever. So we got a fiscal sponsorship and just grew from there.
Nice. So, and now you've got other sponsors over here too, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good partnerships. Anybody that you want to name, or are they all anonymous?
So the foundation is not sponsored by any other fiscal agency or organization. It's all benefactors, individual benefactors. We have had some foundations, like Evelyn Ash has worked with us. The Redfield organization has worked with us with grants, and they're amazing. We are super grateful for them.
Very, very good. Okay, and so again, this is coming up the weekend, 2 Saturdays away from when this drops.
Yeah, so April 19th.
April 19th. So if you're listening, and it's hopefully early in the week of the 4th, the 7th, sorry. Get to that website and sign up. Get your kids or your grandkids or whomever you know. Tell people about it, because it's such a great opportunity. Where else does a kid get a chance to make a movie? They
don't. It doesn't happen unless their school has a specific video program. And we take children 7 to 18, but the actual foundation, we do opportunities far, far above and beyond just the Film Challenge Day. But the Film Challenge Day is 7 years old to 18 years old. But we don't turn anyone away. We had a 37-year-old woman that was like, "I'm a Future Filmmaker Foundation. I'm a future. Gave up my career. I wanted to get into it." And we're like, "Yes, ma'am. Come on in."
All
and
right.
She helped with the sets, and it was interesting.
That's really interesting.
No ageism.
I love
that. But
it
is geared for younger voices generally.
Right. But that's a fun side story. You won't get a lot of those.
Yeah, no, not a lot. But you know what? She was a great asset, and she was a great addition to the program.
I love it. It reminds me of the last time I saw you in this studio. We were doing a story for Artifacts about Jackie Shelton directing a movie for the first time in her life in her 50s.
Yep.
And you were her mentor and came in and did an interview about it. And it kind of feels in the same way. It's like, I'm going to do this now. So what if I haven't done it before? I love that.
Yep. I'm the same as Jackie. I started a little younger in my 40s, but I made my very first personal film and went on that journey. And I think you can tell stories at any age. In fact, some of our grandparents are probably the best storytellers there are.
Good point. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You go to them for the stories. You don't go, well, you can go to your buddies, but they're not necessarily the best at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. And so this is just one of the many non-film festival events that Cordillera holds all year. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about all of this with you, just so people could be aware. You've got, not only the Future Filmmakers and Foundation Film Day Challenge, but you've got events, you've got screenings all year. They could be as simple as a fun Flicks on the Bricks kind of a summertime thing, which I've been to. I've attended before, where we're downtown in Reno and you just inflate the screen and you hang out for an evening, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
And it's just a good awareness for Cordillera and good community engagement. But
and they're free.
Yeah.
90% of Cordillera's events are free to the public. So we do Movies in the Park for our town. This is a 30-year legacy event. We're really excited. Anyone that's listening will get to hear this, and then anyone that doesn't won't know until we officially announce. But it's the 30th anniversary for a Goofy movie. And so and it's our 30th anniversary for Art Town's Movies in the Park. And we're so honored to have been presenting Movies in the Park for so many years. And so we're bringing a Goofy movie, and we'll have the voice of the voice of Goofy. Bill Farmer will be there. So we're so excited about that, and some other exciting premieres.
That's cool. He's a big supporter.
Yes, he's the chairman of our board for not for the foundation, but for the Cordillera International Film Festival.
Yeah. I see him around every year. I know he's always around.
Yes, he comes, he attends, he comes to our big fundraisers. He's just such an amazing human being. We're very lucky to have him.
It's nice. It's nice to have somebody like with that pull to lean on and say, hey, everybody, guess who's going to be here again this year? It's exciting every time.
Every time. He's a Disney legend, and we bring in big names. Our grand jury is very impressive, and I cannot tell you how cute and giddy they get. These people that I'm cute and giddy to meet are like, can I talk to Farmer? Like, yeah, of course. And they're like, and he'll do the Goofy voice, and they just turn into just like, and he's been doing that voice for well over 35 years. He's a Disney legend, and it officially was designated as a Disney legend. He's amazing.
I didn't know that was an official designation.
It is, yes. They have a ceremony and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You should wear a sash or something.
Yeah, it's such a cool thing.
All right, cool. Well, that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again this year. You also have something I made a note, I was reading about it, that I didn't realize. You're out at Burning Man every year.
Yes. We partnered with the owners of, one of the owners of the Chinese Man Theater, TLC Man Theater, which is the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? It's like every dream to have your film play there. And we partnered with them to present Movies on the Playa. And so we take films from Cordillera Programming and create programming blocks. And Bob, who's incredible, designed this unbelievable air-conditioned theater that he built along with some help out in the middle of nowhere in Burning Man. And it's incredible. It's the most surreal, magical experience. And Burning Man is not what I thought it was. It is a lot of people. I met more accountants than I did anything else, but they just have been going for 20 years and absolutely love it. And it's a pretty magical place, and also air conditioning and great films. And they're all short films. If you don't like one, you'll like the next one 7 minutes from now.
Nice.
So it's a really great way to experience Burning Man and also the art of film.
You had me at air conditioning. I mean, that playa has done some damage to vehicles that I've been in over the years, and I always thought, I don't think I could handle a week of it, but I've never tested it. So I think if I was going to get to go to an air conditioned theater, I might reconsider. Yeah,
it is. I was born and raised in Alaska, so I can camp. But I also don't mind a Ritz. So
right.
I didn't know how I would feel, and I was completely fine. I was fine. And I think some friends would call me high maintenance. I think I'm not, but my friends were like, Emily, anytime they're like, you went to the Burning Man? You went to Burning Man? I'm like, what do you think I am? I was born in Alaska. I can handle it. And I did. I handled it, and I loved it. And I'm really excited. I'm smart. I'm going back smarter this year, though.
Oh, good.
Definitely a little more intelligent.
What is it? One pro tip that you picked up from last year?
Dear God, bring a bike.
Ah, okay.
Have a bike.
Yeah.
Have a bike. Your calves will never forgive you if you don't have a bike.
Yeah, I've seen so many different documentaries over the years, from when it was a small event to now it's almost a spectator sport practically. It's a different world from what it used to be. So I have no sense of what it's like to be there anymore. And so this is an interesting description because it's making me curious. The art is always fascinating to me.
It's the art. The art makes it dealing with some dust. It makes it. I mean, we slept in a tent. The whole group, we all just sleep in tents. So we're not in the Ritz at all.
Right.
There's people that have motorhomes and do more sophisticated setups. But our focus is on providing a great experience for people watching the movies. And then we could slip in there and get some AC occasionally. Right. But I wasn't miserable at all, okay. and my threshold for misery is very small.
Yeah,
so I did okay.
Mine is very low too. So you're making me reconsider. Yeah. But does the silt do any damage? I would just assume that any kind of electronics would be in trouble.
I think we had a very lucky year in that during the actual setup where damage could have been done, it was relatively tame. Okay. But no, people were worried about their laptops. Maybe I had a very surreal or unusual experience, but I was like, well, we're going to have to throw away all our clothes or donate them. No, literally every single thing is fine. Okay. The car cost a little bit to get it fixed, to get it cleaned thoroughly, but everything else is pretty aces.
I will never forget driving across the playa, doing a Wild Nevada episode many years ago and seeing just clouds of the dust coming up through the seals, the supposed door seals, and thinking this car is ruined. It's over for this vehicle. And I just never felt like it ever came out for the rest of the life of that vehicle. It was a station vehicle, so maybe we just didn't clean it that hard, or it was already old and the seals were weak. I don't know. But I just remember thinking, I don't ever want to be out here for any extended period of time. And so I need to reconsider. All right, so that's Playa Cordillera on the Playa at Burning Man. That's really cool. And then you have more going on year round beyond that. But right now it's just the beginning of the process for the actual film festival, which happens in September. I am one of your screeners. I got my email with some of my my assignments, and I get to view and give early feedback on some of the submissions. And you get a lot of submissions. Yeah, we expect about 8,000 submissions, and we average 80 from 83 countries. We only program 150. So we rely really heavily on people like you. We have over 200 volunteer screeners that read and watch every single film we respect. So every single film is watched a minimum of 3 times. And if 2 people give it a 90 and someone gives it a 40 on a scale, we have to have another person watch it. So that really is so helpful to our programming team to get that initial feedback. Well, and I think that it is a sign of respect, and it does go a long way to explain how seriously you take the films and respecting the effort, because as a filmmaker, you can respect the amount of effort that even the worst film ever made took to make. It is. Every film is a miracle. You just may not like that miracle. It may hurt your brain to watch it, but you will respect that film. Yeah. We require that every film get watched unless it is offensive to you, and then we assign it to someone else. Yeah, or it's triggering or something. That's what I read in my email description. It was like, you don't if it's triggering, don't finish it, but otherwise watch even if you think it's awful. Watch it to the end, respect the effort, finish the film, and then give it a fair grade. Yeah. And I think that's all you can hope for. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there are multiple rounds of screenings, right? This is just the very beginning. 5 rounds. Yeah. Oh my God. 5 rounds. 8,000 films. I guess it has to be that way. And so is can anybody volunteer to help? Yes, literally anyone. And a lot of people are like, oh, I wouldn't feel comfortable. A third of our reviewers are industry icons.
and they have all the opinions in the world. Another third are people that just love movies. They may be filmmakers themselves. They understand the structure, things of that nature. But the other third are just like, I like to watch movies.
Right.
That's it. I don't have opinions. They're cool. And honestly, that is why when a regular person comes in to watch the movies, something's going to appeal to you, because we have 3 different types of human beings kind of going through that process. So I call it the Chardonnay mom category. And that's because this woman that I love, she's like, girl, I drink some Chardonnay and I just watch the movies and I put down the ones that make me happy. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So we have a whole category I call my Chardonnay moms that are like, hey, I like this one. And their notes are like, he's so cute. What a great effort. Smiley face, and guess what? That movie will go on to get programmed, and it's the one that wins the Audience Choice Award because everyone walks away moved and happy, or it lifts, or is thought-provoking.
Yeah,
So
it warmed him up somehow.
Yeah, so it's nice because that means at the end of the day, there is a story focus. And some festivals you go to, and I'm like, I just watched a tumbleweed go across the desert for 2 hours. I'm never going to get that time back, and it's artistic.
And if I complain, someone will call me a
Stupid.
heathen.
Yes. Ugh.
Right.
What are you, a heathen? Yeah. No.
Philistine.
Yes. So there's that pretentious level. I'm like, no, I want people to come. I want a blackjack dealer to enjoy the show as much as a car salesman, as much as a doctor, as much as an Oscar award-winning filmmaker. I want them to all find something that are like, this is a masterclass in film. And even if it just makes you giggle.
Right. I think that's absolutely for me. That's appealing. That's the film festival I want to go to.
Yes.
I don't want to go to the one where everybody's wearing a black turtleneck.
Yeah.
And sunglasses and snapping. And
I don't.
I'm not into that. Yeah. Not my thing. So.
And it doesn't suffer. Our programming, over a third of our programming every single year goes on to get Oscar qualified, and we've had a film Oscar qualified, shortlisted, nominated, and/or win an Oscar every single year of the festival so far. So it's working.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, it's pretty hard to deny when you throw that number out.
Yeah.
So if anyone who's interested can go to volunteer through the website?
Yep, they go to ciffnv.org, and there's literally do you want to screen, or how do I help, how to get involved. Click on it. Ashley is our festival coordinator. She's really good at assigning the films, and you'll get some that hurt your brain, but you'll respect, and then you'll get some that make you feel all the things, and you become this voice and advocate for that film.
I was lucky enough to screen a previous film festival here. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before, and I loved it. I mean, I would like to do it full time. I mean, it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And so I can speak from experience. If you're listening and you would like to give it a shot, please do. The other thing I point out, and forgive me for somehow flipping the seats here, and now I'm representing you.
That's fine. I'll take it.
You don't require people to view a certain amount. It's you give me everything you can.
Yeah.
You're hoping for a round because you'll get an email with a list of links to go and view, and the hope is you can get through them all. But if you can't, whatever you can do is appreciated.
Yeah, we release 8 to 10 hours at a time, and some people will do half of them and just email us and say, hey, things came up, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. We appreciate the few that you got. And then we have other people that they burn through those 8 hours on a mimosa Sunday or a Chardonnay Friday. And then we send them every week, and they watch them with their family. And you just need to let us know, like, don't send us any horror. I'm watching with the kids, you know.
Right.
And we never know what we're sending you, but they do submit, like, this is a horror film, so we are not going to. And then we have people that are like, I only want to watch the horror. And we're like, yes, thank you. We always need more people to watch horror.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to watch it.
I viewed one at the film festival last year. An African film that was
The Weekend.
Yeah, The Weekend.
That was a Tribeca winner.
Oh yeah, that one was my wife struggled.
Oh, I bet.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done, and it was well done because it troubled her, which meant it was well done.
Yeah, it was disturbing and also incredibly independent, and so it was it was actually a really huge departure from our normal programming of our features. But it was a really unique voice and way of telling a story. And so we were honoring that for sure.
I as a person who grew up watching horror movies, I appreciated it.
Oh, good, 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 good,
I
good.
thought they did well. And I should mention, I made a note of the mission. The mission is stated on the website: the festival for filmmakers by filmmakers. But you're not excluding non-filmmakers. That's just you're sort of opening up to people who love the medium.
Yeah. So the reason we say a festival for filmmakers by filmmakers, and that's in our programming site, like on our programming pages,
Right.
because that's the pages that filmmakers are going to visit. And we want them to know we're filmmakers. We're not going to show your film on a screen in a garage, where the sound, we respect. We show your films on DCP files, and any filmmaker that hears the words DCP, they're like, oh, because it's going to be the best way to experience your movie. And we have Galaxy Theaters is an incredible venue. So you're there in comfortable seats watching your gorgeous film on a huge screen.
Yeah.
And we sell out the theaters. It's incredibly rare to see an empty seat.
It's really fun.
And that's another thing. Nothing hurts more. When my first film, when I was traveling with it, it premiered at Cannes in the Emerging Filmmaker Showcase, and then you go to another festival and there's like 7 people, and like 3 of them are your friends. and I'm like, wow, I spent this money, all this stuff, and no one's even watching my baby, And so we really want to make sure that filmmakers have an incredible experience while they're here.
Well, I from slightly outside, I can say it's a really nice experience to attend and visit. I also was able to attend another piece of the film festival, another element that you add to it, which is the Pitch Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really fun.
That's so exciting.
That was really fun.
Yeah, this year it is $300,000. So it's 2 different films will get opportunities, a narrative and a documentary. So you submit a pitch idea, and then you are in front of people who can make it happen. So like one of our winners was Eileen Gruba. It's one of our jury members. Hunt Lowry was in the jury. He was part of Pitch Fest. And he's dances with, Last of Mohicans dances with our grand jury. Again, I cannot brag enough about oh my God, they're so great.
They're good.
So I spend my whole time at the festival trying not to fall over myself. Don't give them your resume. Don't drop your reel. Don't sell yourself. Not your time, Emily. But they do Pitch Fest, and Eileen Gruba won, and they just made an announcement last year with Warner Brothers about the project. And now we have an incredible documentary team. So we will have a narrative winner and a documentary winner.
Oh, that's great.
And my favorite story is when you come in, whether you've submitted it or not, you can get a lottery ticket, and they're free. We don't charge or anything. And one audience member will get picked from that bin out of nowhere. And Eileen Eileen with Hunt Lowry, she was our audience winner, and she won Pitch Fest.
Wow!
And we had our first Nevada. We had our first Reno, Nevada. Jackie Schulten.
Yep.
We just talked about her.
I was trying not to introduce the name.
Yeah, she won Pitch Fest, and that's unbelievably exciting, and it's so cool because. We've had people from all over the world win, and we actually had local, and so that's just so exciting.
Well, how better to illustrate the mission or the opportunity that the film festival creates for people.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's exciting. I want to throw one note out also to those of you who are listening to this podcast that you have some podcasts on the website that you recorded. One of which I listened to yesterday because it has an old high school classmate of mine, Ronnie Jo Draper, who won for Fire Tender a documentary project.
That's an amazing documentary.
Yeah,
Native
and I
American.
watched it yesterday after listening to the podcast. So your website directed me to a podcast, which then directed me to a PBS Passport link to watch this documentary. And so I watched it yesterday, and it was really fascinating. So again, value added. You guys, you're providing more than just a place for people to come in and watch a few movies once a year. This is content that's available all the time. Yeah,
and I think so. It's called the Martini Podcast. It's done by Chris Swanson, does the behind the scenes, and Ted Kelly, who is a radio god and legend, literally. who hosts it. And I think they do an amazing job. But speaking to what we do as a whole, the last day of the film festival, we do what's called the Film Nevada Day. And we take decision makers from all over the world that are there, roughly 100 of them, and we take them on a tour to get them excited about the region. And as a result, they're coming back and they're making films. And it's part of the Film Northern Nevada initiative that we do. And that's year round as well. We just finished a Warner Brothers feature film here, 1,000 hotel room nights. 62% of the crew was local hire. So it's amazing the financial impact. And you have to have that triangle. So we have the film festival is one corner, the Future Filmmakers Foundation is the next, and then the Film Northern Nevada initiative creates that triangle. And all three together are hopefully going to continue to be really impactful in the community.
I suspect they will. I suspect they will. All right. I can keep going, but I got to wrap it up because I'm going to keep you here all day. All right. Thank you for the time today. And then, let's come back again later and let's talk about more, maybe as the festival's getting closer, maybe talk about what, some of your favorites that are going to be screening and just,
absolutely
hype it a little bit.
A little bit of hype.
We're good with that.
We're good.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Before we go, I want to remind everybody to watch Artifacts on PBS Reno via broadcast streaming, pbsreno.org, the PBS Reno YouTube channel, or the PBS app. Many ways to watch that show. Also, read Art Views. The columnists do a wonderful job at pbsreno.org, and you get a diverse sense of all the kinds of art that exist in this community. Also, if you have a question, idea, comment, complaint, whatever, take it all. Send that to me at podcasts@pbsreno.org. My thanks to Emily Skyle-Golden, and thank you for listening to PBS Reno Arts.
Support for this episode of PBS Reno Arts is provided by the Nevada Arts Council. Arts and creativity make us stronger, fueling innovation, prosperity, and thriving communities across Nevada. They boost our economy, promote well-being, and enhance education, empowering Nevadans of all ages. The Nevada Arts Council nurtures these essential creative forces. Together, let's elevate the arts in every corner of our great state. More at nvartscouncil.org.